Welcome to the Paulacast. Starring me, Paula Kosienski. All right, everybody. Hello, and welcome to the second episode of the Paulacast show. I am so excited to be here. I hope you're excited to be here. I have a lot of really fun things planned for today to talk about, but before I do, I just wanted to say this is a really special episode because it is the first episode with full video involved. So I recorded an episode last year, probably right around this time, and it was just a test run and we just did audio and it was really fun. And so I thought, give it a good year break. And now I'm back for episode 2 and you can see me and I can't see you, but I can feel you. I can feel that you're here. So I'm super excited that you're here and I'm really, really pumped to talk about all the things we're going to talk about and have a nice time together. So yeah, let's get into it. I guess I did want to say first of all, like what made me want to keep doing this podcast. Because we did that first episode and it was really fun, but obviously, spoiler alert, I did not stick to it. And I think what has made me really want to do this second episode and kind of keep this going more regularly from now on is I really wanted a space where if you have seen me through my comedy, then maybe you'd click on this and you could get to know me a little bit better. I love doing that with other comedians, seeing their stuff and then watching their podcast, and it's like you get to see them in another dimension almost, which is so cool. And maybe, Lord willing, if this podcast goes well, then maybe you're seeing me from this, and then you can check out my stand up, which would be really great because I think I do a knock up job at stand up. And I'm also really excited to build hopefully a little community of people where we can just like hang out and, you know, comment back and forth and get to know each other. I love seeing other comics have sort of their community, and I really want that for us. So that's kind of why I'm doing this. And this podcast is likely going to start coming out weekly. I think I want to call it a show instead of a podcast, even though it is a podcast. But I kind of want to call it a show because we have some segments, that we're going to get to. And I think in time, hopefully this will get bigger and we'll have bigger, better segments. So I think I want to think of it almost more as a show. Yeah. But right now we're just starting small. I'm just sitting here on my I think it's a nice couch. On our couch, and I've got one of my 100 throw blankets. If you know me, you know I'm a throw blanket girl. I'm also a water bottle girl. And so this is my Awala that I got, and they don't sponsor the podcast, because this is the second episode, and but they should. That would be really cool, because I love this water bottle, and I truly think it's the perfect water bottle. And yeah, you heard me right, Stanley people. Here's the thing. Y'all water bottle fall and it immediately spills. This doesn't spill. So already we've got you beat. And like there's still a straw function like this. See? That was just my excuse to take a drink of water. So they're not sponsoring this show, but hopefully eventually they will sponsor it because I'm a big fan of their water bottles. I don't know how we got on the topic of water bottles. That wasn't on my list today. But I am excited to do this show. So we're going to start talking about sort of our first topic of the day. It's New Year's resolutions and New Year's Eve. So recording this now, it is freshly 2025. So happy 2025, everybody. John and I had a great New Year's celebration. We stayed in our apartment on this couch and we watched our favorite show. And at midnight, we looked over at the fireworks that we could see out our little window, and it was like the coolest thing ever. And yeah, it was a really fun celebration, it was the first time ever that I like forced myself to stay up till midnight. And then the show got good, so then I stayed up even longer. And then by 1 o'clock, I was like, I need to go to sleep. I'm dying. So, getting pretty crazy. Past the point of going out for New Year's, that was short lived. My body just can't handle alcohol anymore, which is honestly sad because I do like it. I would I would like to drink it more if I'm being honest. But it's just not in the cards for me. So instead I just got my water bottle and I eat a lot of sugar and that fills the void. So it's good stuff. But anyway, we're talking about New Year's. I don't know if you guys are like New Year's resolution people. Some people really don't like New Year's resolutions because so many people like they shall follow them after a little bit. And I get that, but I love New Year's and I love a New Year's resolution because I love a blank slate. I like a clean slate. It's my favorite slate. And I use them. Like I really use them. I guess an example would be like when I was in high school and middle school, I did not have the best grades. It's not that I was dumb, I wasn't dumb, but I just didn't do the homework or study. And so you can only get so far unless you're a genius. I'm definitely not a genius. So I didn't really do that great with my grades. And I remember every semester, as the new semester would start, you would go back to getting all A's. It was like your, beginning record. And then as the year would go on, they would go down. But I always really loved that first day of the new semester where I had all A's. Felt really good. And I looked forward to it. It was I always wanted to end on all A's. Didn't totally ever happen, but I did eventually get my life together. And I actually started trying, and that definitely helped. But all that to say, I really like a New Year's resolution. I like the fresh, clean slate of 2025. So, my New Year's resolution this year is I want to be more purposeful with my time. So, I want to spend less time just like mindlessly scrolling on my phone and more time doing things that I think would actually be like meaningful and beneficial to me. Um, like this, I could be sitting here watching TV and that would be fun. But I want to do something meaningful and I want to, do all the things I talked about. So I'm trying to spend my time more purposefully. Yeah, like I said, not a genius. Um, so I want to spend my time more purposefully with just, being thoughtful about what I'm doing. And also, kind of in part with that, I have really never been much of a girly girl. Like, I've never been like makeup, hair, all that stuff, clearly. Um, but I think this year I really do want to try and put just a little bit more effort into that side of me. Not because I think I'm like ugly or because I want to be vain. I don't want to be vain, but I just want to maybe take a little bit more pride. Maybe pride's not a good word. I want to take myself a little bit more seriously this year and just maybe put in a little bit more effort. So that's my New Year's resolution, and I'm pretty pumped about it. And I think that this is a big step towards that. Um, one of my big goals this year is I always used to get up like 10 minutes before we left the house, and it was fun, but it was stressful, and basically had time to like do the basics. And so my goal would be to get up a little bit earlier and maybe, you know, do something cute with my hair, maybe put on a little mascara, or maybe have a nutritious breakfast in the morning. Um, Side note, I don't know about you guys, but I have always been like a hater of breakfast in the early morning, like during the week. I wanted to like breakfast, but I just couldn't. So I guess maybe that's a New Year's resolution is to like breakfast a little bit more. Basically, my New Year's resolution is to change as a person drastically. So that would be fun. But yeah, that's my New Year's resolution, and y'all should comment your New Year's resolution, or if you're anti New Year's resolution, then say that, whatever you want to say it, because we're all here together. So I want to hear your opinion. But that's my New Year's resolution, and I'm really excited about it, and I think 2025 is going to be a great year. What I'm trying to say is comparison really is the thief of joy. And I say that because a lot of times at the end of the year, people post on social media about their year and how amazing it was. And I love that because I think it's fun to see everyone's year and how well it's been going. But also, I think there is a little part of me and a little part of a lot of us that see it as a race or as some sort of competition. Like, so and so had the best year and I didn't have as successful of a year as they had. And I know that I fall into that, and I kind of think we all fall into that a little bit. So, if I could just give my opinion that again nobody asked for, just remember that going into 2025. Comparison is the thief of joy, and you trying to compare yourself to other people is just not going to be fun. And so don't. Just think about how you can help others, but then, just focus on your goals and yourself. And you don't need to worry about what other people may or may not be doing that may or may not be more successful than you. So, yeah, I didn't mean for the podcast or the show to start off like super serious, and I feel like it did, but I really did want to say that. Um, I want this show to be funny and lighthearted and fun because I think that's what I really enjoy. But I also have moments like everybody where I want to be sincere and genuine, and maybe a little serious. And so there might be a little bit of that peppered in. But I think it'll be fun. I still think this is going well, We're however many minutes in, couple minutes in, and I think I'm killing it. I think you're killing it. This life is good. So, with that, I want to introduce our first segment, which I'm very excited about, which is called Shooting the Breeze. And maybe we'll get a little thing under that says Shooting the Breeze. And the whole idea of this segment is we're just going to shoot the breeze on a topic of my choice that I just feel I want to talk about. And y'all can join in the comments and talk about, comment on what I'm talking about. Y'all know how the internet works. I don't have to explain it to you. But yeah, so today our topic for Shooting the Breeze is Vikings football, something I am very passionate about, and I just feel the need to talk about it and get into it because it's been a crazy year for us. So I'll start by saying I'm big into football, although I'm not like a guy where I know every player and every stat and like I'm on a fantasy league. Like I'm not like that, although I can see myself getting to that point. I'm more like I just really like watching it. I know the main players of the teams that I like, and I know the rules and stuff, but John and I watch it together, and it's really fun, and it's nice. I know a lot of couples like the guy likes the football and the girl kind of doesn't, or some couples like my parents, where my mom likes football and my dad really doesn't, and I'm just really grateful that John and I get to watch it together, and we really enjoy it. Like college football and NFL. But I know that's not everyone. So if you don't like football, don't worry. We're not going to talk about this forever. We're going to get into some other fun stuff too. But if you like football, then I think this will be fun. But yeah, so I just want to talk about the Minnesota Vikings. I'm a huge Minnesota fan. I should have worn my jersey, but I wanted to wear a sweater. But I love the Minnesota Vikings. It all started when I was young, and actually, my mom's brother, huge Minnesota Vikings fan, and unfortunately, he definitely had some mental health struggles and passed away many years ago at this point. That sounds weird saying as a 26-year-old many years ago. But a while ago, it was many years ago. And So my mom and I got into watching it sort of in his honor, and we ended up really loving it. And if you know anything about the Vikings, they are a hard team to root for because they are, they get you and then they let you down every single time in some way. But I still love being a fan. I used to watch every game with my mom on Sundays when I was little. And then as I've grown up, like I've kind of watched it either with her or, now that I live in Tennessee and they live in North Dakota, um, we don't watch it together, but we'll text each other. And John likes it. So we'll just sit and watch it, and it's a good time, and it kind of reminds me of my uncle, but also I've just really become like my own fan. So, with that, I want to talk about some players and some things I'm really excited about. As of this recording, we just beat the Packers, swept the Packers, which I feel like never happens. I think it's only happened 4 times in the last like 20 odd years. So big year for us on that. That in itself is like a win. Which I'm obviously very pumped about. We're about to play the Lions next week, which got bumped to the Sunday night primetime game, which means it's on Peacock, which means I don't have to go to Buffalo Wild Wings, which is nice. I will say I like Buffalo Wild Wings, but it's expensive to go every time. And I know what you're thinking. Paula, just get NFL Red Zone, and then you'll be able to watch all the games. Well, this is what happens every year. Every year, I convince myself that I want to wait because I don't want to get NFL Red Zone and pay $20 a month and then they do poorly, right? And then I feel like I wasted my money. So then every year, about October, November rolls around and I go, I would have saved myself so much money if I had gotten NFL Red Zone because now I'm just spending more money at Buffalo Wild Wings. So then I decide, okay, next year, I'll get it next year. And then the next year rolls around and enough time has passed where I'm like, well, it's a lot of money. And then I start the cycle over again. I really don't like spending money. But apparently I do because I spend way more of it anyway. So next year, though, I'm going to get NFL Red Zone for sure, as long as we can afford it, because I I've loved watching not just the Vikings this year. Like I feel like I've gotten into football more in general, where I care more about the other teams and where they stand. Um, but anyway, so yes, we're gonna play the Lions, and I'm gonna put it all out there. I think we're gonna win. Could we lose? Yeah, 50-50. You never know. Have the Vikings hurt me in the past? 100%. 100%. I was there for the Minnesota Miracle, not in the building, I should say, but I was watching it live. And it was the best moment in football, in Minnesota football, and I would argue one of the best moments in football as a whole. I mean, it's literally a miracle, Minnesota Miracle. And then I watched the following game where I watched the Eagles absolutely decimate us. And it was like, for what? Now, I still think that moment was amazing, but it definitely hurts to know that the next game just, we did not do so great. And so for that reason, also, I'll always dislike the Eagles. I think the Eagles is a pretty hateable team, to be honest. I'm sure there's a lot of Eagles fans that are pretty upset. And I get it, I would be upset too, but also like I just can't after what happened, I'm still hurt about it. So I'm not an Eagle fan. I really don't like them. And we're gonna have to play them again this year. And I hope it goes different. I do. I want it to be different than it was. But I think we're gonna beat the Lions. I have hopeless optimism and we'll see. But I do. I think that we have the best Minnesota team right now. Kevin O'Connell, amazing coach. I hope he gets coach of the year. He deserves it. Just watching that guy, watching him, how he talks to players, you can tell how much he loves them. I love Kevin O'Connell. Even though sometimes he does some questionable clock management, but that's for another time. Also, Sam Darnold. Oh my gosh. He's the best Like, I know that Justin Jefferson is like the best player on that team, but he's the best in my heart. Like, I love that guy. He has done more for this franchise than he'll ever know. I mean, we were expecting this year to be not good, right? Like, it was JJ broke or tore his ACL, I think, and it was not going to be a good time. And Sam Darnold came in and lit the fire, in Minnesota, which is hard to do. And so, forever a Darnold fan, as long as he doesn't do anything illegal. I don't want this to age poorly, but honestly, I'm a huge Darnold fan. Justin Jefferson, I mean, you can't get better. You just can't get better than him. And think he's awesome, and I think he's super likable and fun. And also, I mean, he could catch a ball if it was rolled in butter. That man could catch any football, and he's caught my hopes and dreams. I feel like I am all in on this team. So he's great. We just came off the Packers win, like I said. So Naylor was a great team, very great player. He did so much on that. I love Dinkle. He's good. I think he's on the defense. Like I said, I don't know everything, but I know the big ones. Addison was great. I have to say my favorite part about Vikings football right now, other than Sam Darnold, is the locker room speeches. Kevin O'Connell does the best locker room speeches. I myself, who am not at all a part of the team in any way, get like goosebumps because I just love him so much. I love those speeches. So our cat's over here, so that's why I got distracted. But yeah, I love this team. I'm so excited. I think we're gonna beat the Lions, and I think we're gonna go all the way. And I'm putting all my money on the Vikings. And in the past, that has cost me, but I am ready to be hurt again. So that's what I have to say about the Vikings. That's my shooting the breeze segment. I think the next segment we're gonna do is a little bit of Would You Rather, which I love this game. I think Would You Rather is a ball, and I always think it's fun to think about the different Would You Rathers. So that's what we're gonna do. I asked a bunch of people on Instagram to submit Would You Rathers, and I got a good amount of submissions. I was really happy. So I'm going to pull up those submissions. That's Bella. She's amazing. The reason she's shaved is because she recently was diagnosed with cancer. Very sad. And they had to get like that area and put a tube in to drain fluid out of her lungs. So don't be alarmed. We're doing everything we can. It's likely terminal. I'm very bummed. Well, I'm past bummed. I'm sad. But she's obviously killing it. I mean, look at her. It's like she's 2 years old and she's like 13. So, yeah. That's why Bella has a little bit of a shaved thing and she might just be in the video on the show. I hope she is. She'll be our first guest. How do you feel about that, Bella? Feels good. Alright, so let's get into some would you rather questions. First one, pretty simple. It says, would you rather do the dishes or do the laundry? To me, this is so easy. I would much rather do the laundry. The laundry is probably my favorite chore. It revolves it revolves around doing almost nothing. I don't do anything while it washes because it's in the washer. I don't do anything while it's drying because it's in the dryer. And then I take it out and putting it away is kind of annoying, but I kind of like the feeling of reorganizing my closet, like putting my favorite stuff that I wear back. If you know me, you know I wear like 3 things, so it's a pretty easy process. So definitely doing the laundry. Doing the dishes is like one of my least favorite things. It's like doing the dishes and vacuuming. Least favorite chores. Doing the dishes is disgusting. I hate all the gross water, like food water. And also the dishwasher racks never just work. I feel like they're always like stuck. So then I get annoyed. And I often will leave the dishwasher open and then I'll hit my ankle on it. So not a fan of the dishes. Very much would rather do laundry. Would you rather be so tall you have to stoop through doorways or too short to ride roller coasters? Well, you know me. You know that I already am very short. and 411, 410 and a half on a bad day. So I'm gonna say the roller coaster one because I already hate roller coasters. So honestly, it would be a welcomed excuse. Like, I would love to be able to not have to tell someone, like, I don't want to go, I'm scared. I would much rather be like, oh, sorry, not my fault, you know? I would go. I would totally go, but I can't. So I would actually prefer that. I would just probably wish for that, to be honest. Um, and I'm already short, so it wouldn't really probably change my lifestyle that much. I would probably hit my head a lot if I was tall. And John's really short, so I think that would kind of mess things up with us, you know. I mean, I think we'd be fine, but I think I'd like to stay short. Um, this one I didn't really understand. It said, would you rather have telekinesis but have no limbs, or have wings for arms? And I don't know how like, I think they're all like, I don't really understand what telekinesis is compared to limbs. Like, do you need limbs to be? I thought telekinesis was like moving stuff with your mind. So, I guess maybe that's the point. It's like you can move stuff with your mind, but you don't have any limbs, which is a bummer. Or you could have wings for arms. 100% wings for arms. Because then I can fly. It would be the difference between, like, would you rather have no arms or legs, or would you rather fly? I'd rather fly. And telekinesis is cool, but I could fly, you know? So that'd be, I think about how much money I would save on travel. I'm a comedian, I travel a lot. If I could fly myself places, game over, okay? Delta, I wouldn't need you anymore. So those are my would you rather questions. I thought that was a good time. Um, if there is anyone then of them that you would like to respond to, hit the comments. Tell me what you would rather do out of all those. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is our last segment of the day. It's already come to our last segment. See how fast that went? Because we're both having a good time. So we're about to wrap up. But the last segment I want to do is called What Makes a Good Fill in the Blank. So it could be like, what makes a good friend? What makes a good pizza place? And today we're going to do what makes a good bathroom. All right. I've already talked about how I pee all the time. And John and I recently traveled home for Christmas, and we drove like 16, 17 hours. We drove a long way. And so I peed a lot, and I had to use a lot of bathrooms. And if you followed me on social media during that time, I did a bunch of bathroom ratings, and it was so fun. So I want to talk about what makes a good bathroom. Riveting stuff. I know, riveting. Let's start from the when you enter the bathroom. Immediately, I'm thinking cleanliness. That's a big one. I think most people would say cleanliness. I don't want the floors to be disgusting, even though they often are. I don't want the walls to be gross. A lot of times you go into a bathroom and a gas station, and the walls are looking used. I don't know how a wall can look used, but they do. That, and I want the sinks to not look rusted and like old and gross. You know what I mean? I would like a somewhat of a kept up feel, you know, like someone goes in there and cleans it once in a while. So cleanliness, big one for me. Privacy. I hate when bathrooms have those big gaps in the stalls and you can see each other. And it's like, might as well, why don't we just remove these doors completely? Why don't we all just sit in a circle of toilets? Because that's how it feels. So I would prefer to have privacy. Like, ideally, you have full, sort of like, you know, those stalls, but they're like rooms, kind of like that. Um, and I would rather have privacy. Another thing is, I love one of those boxes where it says, "How is our bathroom?" and then there's a smiley face or like a frowny face. And I want it to be a smiley face, and I want to be able to give them that feedback. So that's pretty important to me. Toilet paper stocked in the stall would be amazing. We have that problem. I went to the office, which is That's the number 2. And when I was in there, they had no toilet paper. So then I had to just call out. Thank God it's a women's room and there are women in there, and women are so amazing in the bathroom. I mean, we're at our best when we're in the bathroom. So they helped me right away. But that was a bummer to not have toilet paper. And my last one, and I think this is a little controversial, but I only want paper towels. I don't want those wind machines. They're loud. I'm pretty sure they make more germs. I remember reading that somewhere. Can't give you a source. You could Google it. And they blow all the germs out. And not for me. I want paper towels. I know that they're wasteful. I'm sure that the dryers are greener, but I don't care. I want a paper towel. My biggest complaint really is that they're too loud. They are so loud. And so I'll be honest with you, if I'm in a bathroom and there's one of those hand dryer thingies, and I don't care. I don't care if they're the dip ones or if they're the ones where the ones where they look like they're blowing your skin off. Those, not a fan of. Or even the old push ones, which that makes no sense because you're still touching something. Anyway, any of those, if those are my options, I'll just leave with wet hands and I'll just wipe them on my pants. And I don't care because I hate the noise and I just think that they're inconsiderate. So I would like paper towels. Gold standard for me for a bathroom. Bucky's. Loves are pretty good. I would say Loves are like 9.5. Bucky's is always a 10. They're always private. They always have those big privacy stalls. There's always paper towels. It's always super well lit, which I appreciate. I don't like a flickering light in the bathroom. It's public enough where I don't feel like I'm going to be murdered in this bathroom, but I feel privacy going to the bathroom. And they have little sanitizer things in the stalls. So you sanitize, you walk out, and then you wash your hands again. Talk about if someone is out there trying to stop the spread of germs, it's Bucky's. Okay, big fan. So yeah, I think that is what makes a good bathroom. I'm trying to think if there's any last things that I can think of. Really, whatever Bucky's is doing is what we should all be doing. I appreciate that. Oh, I like in a private bathroom at someone's home for it not to be right off the living room because I don't want people to hear. All right, I'm not doing anything crazy in there, but I don't want people to hear. And that's a big problem for me is when I go to someone's house and it's like kitchen / main living room, immediately bathroom. And it's like, okay, well, again, why don't we just take the door off and why don't we just all experience this together? Because that is how it feels. I think that's everything. I think it was a good show. I had fun. I hope you guys had fun. We talked about a lot of good stuff. And please comment what makes a good bathroom. Comment the would you rathers. If you hate the Vikings and you're another fan, comment that. I really want to build a community with you guys. And I want to respond to those comments. And then you respond to those comments. And we just never stop responding to comments. Just kidding. I don't want to do that. But you comment, I'll respond. Perfect setup. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Y'all saw Bella. Again, please don't worry about her hair. We're aware of it. And we love her so much. And I love you guys. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great 2025. We'll see you back here next week, Lord willing, for another episode with some more fun segments. So thank you guys.